Trail 4x4 podcast. If you like going off-roading in Toyotas, wrenching on Toyotas, camping in Toyotas, and maybe even poking a little bit of fun at Toyotas, and of course, hearing about how fantastic Thanksgiving meals are in Toyotas, then this is the podcast for you. That's right, ladies and germs. My name is Tyler, and joining me for this awesome episode on Thanksgiving is the one and only Mr. Jimmy J. Daddy Jet.
Oh, thanks, Benji. Really appreciate that one.
Yes.
Hi. Good to see you.
Yeah.
How's it going? Happy Thanksgiving.
You too. Thanks for taking time off from your family to come hang out with me in a recording studio on Thanksgiving.
I see my family all the time.
Yeah, I see mine too.
Yeah.
I use the studio as a hideaway.
Right.
Like the bathroom.
Understood. Yes. Yeah. So we have a fun little episode for you guys today. Typically on pretty much Thanksgiving and Christmas kind of scenarios, we do a very short episode because we just want you guys to spend time with your family, and we're going to be spending time with ours.
Yeah, for sure. So we're going to keep it short and sweet today. Just saying thank you to everybody out there. Thank you for listening to the podcast. So it's definitely it all starts with the listeners, right? If you guys weren't listening, we wouldn't hit a record button and we wouldn't be able to do some really cool stuff with some of our favorite vendors, some of the favorite people that we've gotten to interview. None of that ever happens without people actually listening and enjoying the content that we're putting out. So a huge thank you and shout out to everybody out there that continues to listen to this kind of a shit show of a podcast every once in a while. Absolutely.
I mean, Tyler and I sit down, we have fun. We kid and we joke and we poke fun at each other, and we enjoy doing it. And we would do it pretty much regardless. We just wouldn't hit the big red button.
Yeah.
But it's your guys' feedback, your guys' appreciation, you guys calling in, writing in, always correcting us or antagonizing us to some extent. That's a whole nother level of fun.
Yes.
Than just Tyler and I shooting the shit.
A listener contacted me on Instagram last night.
Yeah.
About axles.
Okay.
And so I'm just laying in bed and all of a sudden I perked up and I was like, ooh, I could talk about axles. So me and CJ, not CJ with a CJ, different CJ, ended up sitting there and talking about axles for like an hour.
Cool. That's
and different stuff.
Fun.
So I think I'm really close to getting him to build my axles.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's for wild.
Yeah.
So I wonder if that's the same guy. Yeah. I wonder if somebody messaged me and asked me about Tundra axles. And I was like, oh yeah, I knew as much as I from talking to you. And I was like, but you should really message Tyler. And he's the one that built those axles. And he's like, okay. So yeah, but it is interactions like that. Sorry to cut you off. That brings joy to us. And we're here talking into a mic, but we are hopefully inspiring you to go off and do something silly and stupid, but also learn from our mistakes to some extent and do it right the first time. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm a big fan of learning from other people's mistakes, and I'm a big fan of making mistakes because that's one of the best ways to learn is to make a mistake. So if we can make mistakes, which we do a lot, hopefully you guys can learn from them and get a little bit of entertainment out of it as well. So yeah, man, Thanksgiving is here and upon us, and hopefully everybody's getting to spend time with their families. We did missed it, but Four Wheel Underground is having 20% off on suspension, site-wide, pretty much. So they're getting, 20% off on their products. Yes. Right. There are some items in their kits that Four Wheel Underground doesn't make, like the link bars or the joints or the Radflow shocks. So those aren't in that discount. But yeah, I believe it's 20% off on all Four Wheel Underground parts. Yep. Yeah. So I've been super happy with my suspension stuff. Jimmy's gearing up to get ready to install his. Yes. I'm excited. So and we've had my dad got a Four Wheel Underground 3-link in the front, and now he's looking at taking the rig down to do the rear. Oh, wow. As well. Okay. So we've got that. We have had quite a few people messaging us about getting some Four Wheel Underground suspension kits, and everybody's been super happy with them so far that I've heard of. So if you guys were considering it, now's a great time. 20% off all of the Four Wheel Underground stuff. So absolutely. Check it out. And we do want to say a big, massive thank you to Brian over at Four Wheel Underground for being our main sponsor this year. So massive thank you to you. Thanks for pushing the show to new limits. Thank you for everything that you've been doing to help us improve our vehicles and improve the podcast. And if people out there are looking to go from leaf springs to a linked suspension kit. I say it in the intro, I know, but check out 4-Wheel Underground. They have fantastic kits for you available. And right now is a fantastic deal.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've been talking with him a little bit about stuff he's got coming out.
Oh, okay.
Very soon here.
Nice. Okay.
And so
Sweet.
I've been given liberty to tell what one of them is. Now.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Are you going to let it go now?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
It's a cantilever.
What?
Cantilever rear suspension so essentially you don't have to cut up into cargo bays or into beds of trucks. So he has it all. Everything's worked out right now where he's using a 10-inch shock and getting 16 inches of vertical travel out of the axle.
Yeah.
And then on a 67 WMS axle, he's getting 26 inches of wheel travel at the wheel mount surface during articulation.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
So out of a 10-inch shock.
Yeah, all out of a 10-inch shock because of the cantilever
setup. So he has a couple of other things to button up, but it's a really well-built and engineered cantilever system.
That's awesome.
Using spindles and bearings rather than bushings.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the only real other cantilever systems out there are really using bushings.
Yes.
And this is using a spindle and bearing setup with an integrated sway bar into it. So it's pretty fucking rad how he has this all set up.
Sweet.
So he's going to be coming out with it soon. He has a couple things to button up, but he said I can officially let the cat out of the bag and announce what his plans are here for the next thing being launched.
Wow. That's going to be fantastic. So are you going to be able to throw a 4-link cantilever suspension under Kermit?
I will not, because I still have the gas tank in the way. So I'll keep my 3-link geometry, but I'll be cutting out the mounts for the coilover stuff, and it'll be outboarded 10-inch coilovers.
Well, you got the axle.
And I have the axle width to do it. So yeah.
Okay. So you can still do a 3-link cantilever also.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Dude, that's going to be so cool.
We'll see. We haven't finished talking about when I'm going to be upgrading to that cantilever system, but it's definitely on my to-do list.
Yeah.
Because it's a little bit more of a complex setup, but there's nothing hanging below the axle.
Right.
That's the big benefit for me.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm. Now, if Brian can get that under wraps, once the secretary has a baby, you're not going to be wheeling for a month or 3 during that period anyway. So the Kermit's going to be down or I'm going to be stealing it, one or the other.
Probably both.
Yeah. So that would be a perfect time there. Brian, just hint.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Once again, massive shout out to Brian, everything that he's been doing business wise and supporting the podcast. Big thank you. And for listeners and anybody else really out there, because it's on social media, 20% off 4-Wheel Underground massive sale. So too cool.
Yep. Awesome. Everybody else that we've worked with this year has been phenomenal. All the interviews we've gotten to do, our buddies over at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, keeping the camaraderie going back and forth between the two podcasts. We love those guys. We love everything that they're doing. We love interacting with them, going on trips with them. So it's always fun just doing the podcast and things that the doors that open from the podcast, we're really super thankful for, and all the companies we get to meet because of it. And then we have some kind of more permanent companies that we've gotten to be really good friends with and buddies with that we have deals with for all the listeners too. So
yeah. Another one that I want to shout out that we actually really don't have a deal with is Yokohama Tires.
Yeah, true.
Yokohama, the minor deal that we do have is if you contact Stellar Built and order Yokohama tires, they'll give you a better deal. Mm-hmm. And that kind of was worked out with Yokohama. So that's how that all goes down. So if you are interested in doing that, I do know that Simple Tire is still doing a Yokohama deal right now too.
Oh, nice.
And I believe it goes through the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So if you are looking to get some Yokohama tires, you can contact one of those two companies. But massive thank you to Yokohama Tires for donating tires to the podcast, allowing us to test them out and go wheeling, and donating a set of tires to the listeners out there for our 750 reviews.
Yep. Yeah, cool stuff. As always, our friends over at Gear Wrench.
Yep.
We love our tools. We use our tools a lot.
Yes, we do.
And we get to let people borrow our tools and use our tools and see what other kind of fun stuff Gear Wrench has coming out. So we're looking forward to continuing that relationship, hopefully next year, and appreciate everything they've done for the podcast this year as well.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. I was going to run down the list, or maybe we could share it, of our listener discount codes. We have this list in every single one of the show notes, you guys. So if you are thinking about getting something and it's on this list, go to any one of our podcast show notes and this list is in there. Depending on when they came on board means that they were added to this list at some point. And for some reason, Snail Trail 4x4 isn't on here, but I do believe we have a discount code made for you guys to get merch or anything like that.
I'm pretty sure we do. Yeah.
So I will look into that one and get it to you, but I don't know what it is off my head, so I can't let you know. But the first one's Morphlate. Do you know anything about Morphlate over there?
Nothing. Yeah. No.
No, nothing. If you use Snail Trail 4x4, you're going to get 10% off, but they have killer 20% off Black Friday deals going on right now. So
we even have a 30% off. I think it's going to get to over on Reddit. So I just did an AMA on Reddit on the Ford Bronco subreddit, and we're doing a big group buy in conjunction with that AMA.
Cool. Okay.
And there's also a giveaway for everybody who signs up for the group buy.
Okay, nice.
So if, who will do the drawing from all the signups for the group buy, and then somebody doesn't have to buy a kit. They get a free kit out of it. So if we hit 100 signups, it'll be 30% off. And we're somewhere around like 90 signups right now.
Oh, dang.
For the group buy. So if you're interested in getting 30% off, go over to the Reddit Ford Bronco subreddit and get signed up. The sign up sheet is up there on my AMA, and it'll be open until the end of November here.
Can you get me that link?
Yes.
I'm not probably a Reddit person, so I don't know how to, all I know is Reddit R, but /R or whatever it is. All right. I'll get the link for that and add that to the show notes as well.
Cool.
The second one down on our list, there's no real order to this. I don't know how they got laid out, but it's our friends over at Ironman 4x4.
Oh yeah.
They are offering 20% off right now to all listeners at any point in time with these discount codes. It's Snail Trail 20. So, but massive thanks to them. We've always had a blast talking to them, meeting them whenever we're out at events. Every time we're out at an event, it seems like they invite us out to their like after parties and things. It's a massive blast. And talking to Luke from South Africa, it's just so much fun to hear his accent.
Yes, it is. Oh, that's funny.
You want to talk about the next one down on the list? Sidetracked Offroad. Snail Trail 4x4, all lowercase, gets 15% off.
Yeah. Sidetracked Offroad is essentially an off-road parts retailer. He doesn't really specialize in anything. It's been amazing. He can get pretty much anything and everything you ever asked for.
Yeah, really.
That's the benefit to Morgan. He runs Sidetracked Offroad. He's been doing it for over 10 years now. He's up here in the Sacramento area. So if anybody lives local to the Sacramento area, reach out to Morgan, and he gets you some better deals on stuff if you go there and pick up rather than him having to ship stuff out.
Absolutely.
But also if you use Snail Trail 4x4 on the website, you'll get a nice discount through Sidetracked Offroad. But Morgan is freaking awesome. He's very ingrained in the off-roading industry and the off-roading community here in NorCal. And that you're supporting a really good dude, a really good family that does a lot in the off-roading community here in NorCal when you go shop at Sidetracked Offroad too.
Yeah, you can, if you're on the phone with him, you can probably just mention that you heard it through Snail Trail 4x4 and he'll give you a little bit of a discount.
Yep.
And one of these days we're going to have to trick him to get onto this podcast. I don't know. He's so camera shy and mic shy. Yeah. It's super funny. He's such a good dude, but we can't get him to want to talk into a microphone. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Our next one down on the list is Spartan Ropes. We've talked about them a whole bunch, but they're doing also another Black Friday. I'm pretty sure almost everybody on this list is doing a Black Friday.
I would imagine everybody is
giveaway, but if it's later in the year, you can use these codes. Snail Trail 4x4 gets you 10% off site wide on their platform. They did just come out with those cool new soft shackle recovery hitches, which are badass. And I have one, you've got one. They're now in my recovery kit. I would pretty much leave it on the rig 24/7. except it's so pretty. I don't want to get it banged up.
Yeah, pretty much.
They do soft shackles and kinetic straps for the most part. Yeah, they've got all kinds of gear, and they're always doing the testing that is required for the safety factors that we need and want and should have in the off-road community.
Yep, 100%.
The next one down is Shock Surplus. Snail Trail 4x4 gets $25 off any order. You want to talk about them?
Yeah, so they're an awesome, very consumer focused shock company, right? So they don't make shocks themselves. They're a shock retailer. But what's cool is that their whole business is set up for drop shipping. They're a massive drop shipping retailer, which is awesome because that allows them to put all their focus for the business into the customer. And that's really what his main focus is that making sure that the whole customer service team is very well trained on shocks, very well trained on different types of vehicles, and very well trained on how to translate shock talk to consumers based on consumers' questions. So a really cool company, the way that he's laid out that business and the way that he runs everything and the focuses that he focuses on is all very consumer focused, which is something that we absolutely love and why we recommend to people, if you're looking for shocks or have questions about shocks, contact Shock Surplus.
Yeah, absolutely. So, they're fun guys up there. They're not far up the road either. I think, aren't they in Reno or Sparks?
I don't know. I think the corporate warehouse or business office is like down in LA or SoCal somewhere.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Got it. Well, they're somewhat near us. They're West Coast.
They're West Coasters.
Yeah. Another West Coast company that we love is Mob Armor. They've been supporting the podcast for a long time. They also have Black Friday sales going on, but if you use Snail Trail 4x4, you get 15% off. But I love their Magnetic mount.
Yep.
It's just a thin piece of rubber that's on the back of your phone that has a whole bunch of magnets, small magnets, like 2 or 3 times what the iPhone sort of has. And it holds on to everything.
Yeah.
Driving through anywhere I've ever driven, the phone has never fallen off of the mount.
Yeah.
Funny little story though. I did have the mount fall off my dashboard, but that was more probably my operating error and incorrect mounting placement for the most part. And I don't even think it was using a Mob Armor adhesive. It was probably some just basic 3M.
I just use a E6000 for those now.
Okay. Yeah, there you go. But they're a great company out of SoCal, Offroad Jones territory, but they make fantastic phone mounts and phone mount systems and tablets and all kinds of different ways to mount things into vehicles, whether it's magnets or a flat piece of metal that's super duper thin on the back of the phone to huge or to styles that will clamp onto bars. So they've got all kinds of different options for you depending on what your rig's set up as.
Yep. Yeah. I'm still using their original Magnetic with just the flat piece of metal on the back of the phone.
Yeah.
And it works awesome. I use it in all the vehicles, just slap it in. I don't have one for the Bronco yet though. So I will be doing some Black Friday shopping with them this year.
How about for the Ford 35,000? Yeah.
I took the one out of the F-150 and put it in the 350.
All right.
Yeah.
Next one down the list that you can talk about is Summer Shine Supply.
Steve-O.
Yeah. ST 4x4 for 10% off.
He has a lot of really good products for vehicle detailing. And the one that I really enjoy is the ceramic coat. For off-road vehicles, the ceramic coat is almost like a necessity now for me. It helps everything just wash off so much better because our vehicles get filthy dirty, and that ceramic coat just helps everything wash off super clean, super easy, super quick. And then he's got other vehicle washes, shiners, rubber rehabilitators. I don't know what it's called, the technical term for what that is, but yeah, he's rubber refreshers. I don't know, whatever.
That's a good one.
So yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff that Steve is doing over there at Summer Shine. So check it out. And if you get in contact with their customer service team or him, probably just tell them that you heard about it over on Snail Trail 4x4. So
yeah. The last one on this list, which we've already talked about, is Four Wheel Underground. Excuse me. They have a discount code for us as well that works all throughout the year. It's Snail Trail for 5% off, but I don't think we need to dive into him very much more.
Yeah.
We have talked about it quite a bit. I do have one additional housekeeping item to talk about, and that is the group buy from Moose Knuckle. Yes. If you are in on that or you wanted to get in on that, you have until Sunday night to email either email me. I'll take care of it. And then we need to get your name and your order over to Kyle before Sunday night.
Cool.
So if you are interested in that, to get in on that, do that right now. That's 30% off on all Moose Knuckle products. And we are on the final stride. So if you have already emailed in, then you're good. I've sent an email out to the people that were interested but haven't responded, and we're going to leave it at that because we're in the last minutes here on that one. So
sweet. One note about Four Wheel Underground I wanted to talk about. He hadn't realized all the different stuff going on in the off-road world about trail closures.
Yeah.
And so just recently, I think because of the episode I did with Ben at Blue Ribbon Coalition during Trail Hero, he is now donating a percentage of all sales to Blue Ribbon Coalition.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So another reason to go and support Brian and Four Wheel Underground too.
Right.
So he's doing some cool stuff and doing some really cool things with the company. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fantastic guy, fantastic company, fantastic product.
Yep.
Cool.
And that about does it.
Yeah.
Should we wrap this up and let everybody go on and hang out with their families and enjoy some good food?
Yeah. If you're driving along on Thanksgiving Day or shortly the day after, please speed safely out there. Pay attention. Especially if you're in the evenings, there might be some crazy drivers out there. And I do just want to say one more massive thank you to you, the listener out there, for everything that you're doing, how it's supporting the show and giving feedback and camaraderie with Tyler and I. So it's a lot of fun.
Agreed 100%. So Mr. J Daddy, do you have any final words for everybody out there?
I think that was just it. I just pretty much said it.
Cool. And with that, my friends, keep crawling.
I got one for you.
Joke time.
All right. What should you expect at the end of Thanksgiving?
A happy ending?
A G.
Okay.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
ING.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of another G.
Got it. A spot. Did you hear about the scarecrow who won first prize?
No.
He was outstanding in his field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Very true.
What sound does a turkey phone make? Wing.
Wing, wing. Oh, man.
What do sweet potatoes wear to bed?
I don't know.
They're yammies.
That's a good one. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's a pilgrim's favorite dance?
Oh, I feel like I know this one. I don't know.
The turkey trot.
No, it's not what I was thinking.
Oh. One more. We'll do one more. What is one thing that you have in common with a teddy bear during Thanksgiving?
You're both stuffed?
Yeah, pretty much. You're both filled with stuffing.
Yeah. There we go.